Jayden McDonald, the fifth-year senior, just came right through the line of scrimmage.
You led the team in tackles, and it wasn't even close. You had this amazing year with an injury as well. It was a torn labrum.
Yeah. Tore right before the season. I just feel like I can overcome anything. Like, I just feel like I'm tough, I'm physical. Look back on what I've been through and, obstacles overcome, and I was like, I can do this, I can play.
Just wanted to kind of get to know you and know about your life and where this love for football began. So just kind of tell me about where you grew up and how'd you begin to get that love for football.
So yeah, really I'm a Arkansas native. So I grew up there, I was raised there till I was about 5 years old. And then, me and my mom, my dad, we finally decided to move to Georgia. I have two siblings. I have a older sister and a younger brother. My younger brother actually in college, he plays at Ohio State right now. And, when I moved to Georgia and I was 5, I wasn't really into sports. I was more like a country guy, like to ride horses back at home in Arkansas with my family. So, I first put the pads on when I was 5, and I remember like the first play I ever made, I was a defensive end, coming off the edge, just getting a sack on my very first snap. And then from that moment, I just knew I loved football. And like I said, I played all kinds of positions. I played nose guard my first year, center, tackle, any position you can think of. So, I just played that. I was on and off of football and basketball all the way up to high school. And I just stuck with, football because it's been my passion and, my love. And it's been something that just brought me peace, throughout this whole journey, just meeting people and, just learning how to be a great teammate, great leader. And, that just really what grew my passion for the game of football.
Yeah, Arkansas is pretty interesting because was it like the age of 6, I think, that you moved to Georgia? And specifically, you moved to Georgia, but you were in Douglas County, correct?
Yeah, Douglas County,
And then you decided, oh, no, we got to go to Gwinnett.
Yeah.
Because you were training there. And what exactly is it about Gwinnett County? Because I know there's a lot of people that come from there that are big-time stars. What attracted you to that county specifically, and what made you think like, okay, if I go to this county, if I'm a big-time prospect out of here, that's going to elevate my game and give me more opportunities in the future?
Yeah, actually, like my best friend, was actually living in Gwinnett, and I used to, go up there with him a lot. And a lot of my teams, like my AAU teams and stuff like that, they were all up in Gwinnett. So one time went up there, I got to see all the different resources and all different type of people they have. Like all of my training sessions, we would drive literally 50 minutes, just to get to my training, sessions, because that's where everything was at. I was just thinking, me and my mom, she was just thinking, that might be the best fit for me, to really just, get my name out there and, to be around some greats. Like you said, there's a whole bunch of great talent that comes out of Gwinnett, great resources. And, I just thought it would be best. And I was really excited to get up here, get to work and, interact with new people and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that was a motivating factor for me.
The school in particular, North Gwinnett High School, very good school. When did you graduate? 2018, 2018?
I actually, at first, when I first moved to Gwinnett, I grew up in the Peachtree Ridge district, so about 10 minutes apart. So my first 2 years of high school, I went to Peachtree Ridge, and my 11th and 12th grade year, I finished up at North Gwinnett.
Okay, so you played with guys like J.R. Martin was the quarterback?
I played with
Connor Hayward, now on the Steelers. Josh Downs?
Josh Downs, we won state together my last year.
Yeah.
Tyler Goods and DJ Turner, we all won state together. So
yeah, did you play with Grant Godfrey?
Yeah, he was a little bit younger. He played my younger brother.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I had a chance to meet him and interview him. Great guy.
Yeah, they came out the same year, I believe.
All right. Yeah. So you came from like a very good program.
Yeah.
And it was the first state title.
First state title in NG history. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. And you were a big part of that as well. I mean, like the high school accolades that you've had, first team All-State, region, and county. You had 12 tackles for a loss as a senior and then 12 sacks as a senior as well. You had the school record as well for 4 defensive touchdowns in a season.
Yep, still hold that.
That's crazy. That is insane. The Georgia High School Player of the Year on the defensive side. And then you also mentioned that you played basketball and track, which how did those two particular sports help you on the football field?
Like, I remind you, my mom, my dad, they were basketball. Like, they played, that's what they played, and they played in college, and mom played in high school. So I really came from like a basketball background, and so I really it was kind of fed into me, and I just kind of grew into it and got good at it. And like I said, from the first time I put the pads on, I was like, dang, this might be what I want to do. Like I actually love this. And but just growing up with my mom and just seeing it, and playing it. My dad was actually my coach my first year I played basketball. So, you know, that was a big influence on me. And then with just the track thing, I just thought like, I think it correlates well, you know, to, you know, with football, you know, just being explosive because you still have to do the same movements and stuff like that. So I just really always kind of used it, you know, to kind of get me in shape for the sports season, football and basketball. So,
And you decided to commit to Iowa.
mm.
What other offers did you have, and why did you decide on the Hawkeyes?
Well, originally, like my senior year, well, my junior year, I was ineligible because of the transfer rule when I went to Peachtree Ridge because I had an old coach came and followed me. Well, I didn't follow him, but he went there first. So the GHSA, Georgia High School Association, they tried to say, you know, that I got recruited, which was not true at all.
It's pretty lame.
So I ended up having to couldn't play varsity my junior year of high school, and I had to play JV. And luckily, like, you know, I dominated JV so much, I was able to pick up offers from that. And, you know, my first offer was Rutgers. So I ended up committing to them before my senior year. I actually was committed to them throughout my whole senior year as well. And I ended up decommitting towards the end of the season, you know, once, you know, I started to get a lot more other schools because my offers were like Iowa and all that didn't come to my senior year because, you know, we had a great senior year, so I ended up taking visits there to Iowa. I took official to Ole Miss, and Kansas State and Purdue. Those were my 4 officials, and I essentially ended up choosing Iowa because I felt like at the time it was a great situation, and you know that you know, Iowa, they produce a lot of, you know, NFL prospects, draft picks, so you know, I really trust in, you know, what they did, and that kind of led to me the decision going there, you know, out of high school, just the situation.
It was kind of a weird 2 years, I guess, at Iowa. It was a
I was there for a
28.
year. Yeah, I was actually there for a year and a half. Yeah.
So 2018 is when you graduated.
Yeah.
The 2018 season, did you redshirt?
Yeah, I had an injury. I had in a red shirt.
Okay, and then 2019,
I left that after that spring, 2019.
but you were ineligible to play, correct?
No, I was eligible. So I got the injury at 20. I got there in August. I ended up having an injury in fall camp that made me miss the whole season. So then I stayed in Iowa for the spring, and then I ended up leaving after the spring, the summer, and then that's when I ended up going to Troy.
Okay, gotcha. And then specifically on Troy, what was it about them that you wanted to transfer with them?
Yeah, at the time, you know, coming to Iowa, you know, it worked out. I was kind of like, you know, immature at the time, I would say, just, you know, being that far away from home and, you know, wanting to, you know, come back closer to home. But it ended up working out just, you know, just fine coming to Troy. I was about 3 hours from home. I was able to go home when I needed to. And, you know, I actually had a couple friends that I knew, like, originally that was on the team that, you know, made me feel at home. And I just think it all kind of worked out, you know, the way it should have.
Oh, definitely. I mean, 7th best pass rushing linebacker pretty much, according to Pro Football Focus. What exactly was it about Troy that I guess you were already a great prospect in high school and you just continued that level of success? Was it specifically something from Troy that you learned that helped you succeed?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that was the first time I actually got live, like, you know, college experience. So I just came there and got like thrown in the fire, and then I was able to learn from my mistakes early, you know, to help me grow, you know, throughout the season. And you know, I just felt like that was all beneficial because I was able to, you know, showcase my talents early stage of my career.
And then, yeah, I mean, it was specifically pass rushing that was a strong suit for you. So would you say that is the strongest part of your game is pass rushing?
Yeah, I'll say, yeah, pass rushing, physicality, tackling, you know, all that. You know, you have to be good at all that to play the, you know, linebacker. So I feel like that part of my game, you know, already came natural. And, you know, I just, you know, keep building on the techniques, you know, the other parts of my game, you know, to get, you know, even greater at it. So.
And then, yeah, being a linebacker, when you think of pass rushing linebackers, you kind of think of like a 3-4 defense primarily. Do you think that's the kind of defense in the scheme that you prefer the best, is a 3-4?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it really doesn't matter to me. I mean, I feel like I'm a plug and play guy. Like, you can put me anywhere, and you know, I feel like I can make the play. But you know, 3-4 is actually, you know, it's actually pretty fun because, you know, we actually my last year before I left Troy, yeah, we ran like a 3-4 cause we had a new coach. We had a coaching change. You know, the first coach that brought me in Troy, they were only there for 2 years, and we had another coach, Coach John Summerall. He's not at Tulane now. And their philosophy was kind of 3-4, and then I like that because I was able to, you know, play free, shoot gaps, you know, get a lot of TFLs, and really showcase my speed and my reading reaction. So yeah, I really like 3-4s, but I feel like I can flourish in really any scheme you put me in.
Yeah, I was watching some of your tape, and 3-4 seems like the thing that was, you know, where you really succeeded at.
Yeah.
But when I was watching some highlights of you at UConn, which we'll get to in a minute on why you transferred, uh, you were primarily, you weren't really necessarily like an edge, but you were kind of like inside.
Yeah.
So you prefer just rushing up the middle, like
Yeah.
on the center, on the guards.
I really like them all, but the way Coach Brock, he wanted to attack teams because like I said, my pass rushing, his goal was to try to get me one-on-one with running backs. Whether we just mugging up, showing like 5 up, 6 up, and really just get me one-on-one with the running back, be able to work my moves. That's how a lot of my my sacks came, from just beating the running back. So Coach just really was just a matchup game to game plan thing, and he thought maybe interior pressure was the best way to get me, closest to the quarterback. But he did have some outside pressures for me that, I found really beneficial as well.
Oh, no, definitely. That makes a lot of sense. And then the 21 season is 22. You were continuing to play at Troy. However, injuries kind of ridded those seasons. What did it do to you as far as like mentally with injuries? Because physically, you're young enough to get over it and then keep on producing at a high level. But mentally, having seasons back to back where you suffer an injury and it cuts your season short, what does that do to you as far as your mental game goes?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough. Anytime you away from doing something you love, it's gonna be tough. But the one thing I took from it was it taught me patience. Cause I had an ankle injury to 2021 and 2022. I come right back there in the season, tear my ACL. So it was really just like a patience. It was always tough. Like I remember when I first got the news, my coach Summerall came about my ACL. We kind of just sat there and we just kind of cried in the office, because it was a tough thing. But one thing he told me, he said, you will bounce back from this and you're going to be greater because of it. And I really took that advice and ran with it because, like I said, there's nothing you can really do, but just be patient and, take things day by day. So that's why I think today it built me to be like a stronger individual just because, I learned patience. Patience goes a long way. And, if you can fight through any obstacle like that, I feel like there's nothing, that, I can't like tackle or anything you put in front of me. I feel like I can face it with a head on full of steam. So I thought that really taught me patience and, toughness.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's great mentality to have. But after those seasons, you decided to transfer to UConn. What about it? What made you want to transfer is the first question. And then what specifically made you want to gravitate towards UConn?
Well, yeah, coming out of Troy, we had just won, back-to-back Sun Belt champions. And, I was kind of looking, for a bigger opportunity, playing a bigger stage. Like I said, Sun Belt was great competition and, stuff like that. And we out, there's a lot of dogs that come out of that conference. And another thing, Coach Summerall, he actually got promoted to Tulane as well. They all got raises, from a championship run. So, I thought it was just best for me, to get out and then, my last year and try to, so that I can do it on the biggest stage against the best teams. And I remember coming in contact, with Coach Moore. He's coached at NFL. He's been a head coach in the NFL. So, I saw that as an opportunity to learn and become better as a player and as an individual, and ultimately help them win games because this year was our best year since 2010. So that was really my mindset. Just getting better and continue to be the winner. That I have been, and learn from the people who's done it, and what to expect at the highest level.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, UConn's football history, I mean, it's a basketball school.
Yeah.
That's what it's primarily known for. But you having this great season, not only just on the win column, but you in particular, you led the team in tackles, and it wasn't even close. I think it was 125 tackles, if I'm not mistaken, and the next guy I think had 91. What switched inside of you? I mean, we talked about, okay, Troy, you had great success, but then you elevate your game and go to UConn, which I would assume that you're facing tougher competition, but you just have a career year. What about UConn in particular upped your game?
I really give, all the glory to God first, but I want to thank, Coach Brock, my DC, my linebackers coach. He always he's seen the talent in me. You know, we've been coming in like everything that happened this year we talked about right before I came in. And he's always looking ways to put me in the best position to make plays and, you know, help the team. Like I said, certain game plans, he give me certain matchups, and he was just able to let me just, you know, play free. Like our defense was just basically just, I want to say, simple as no see ball, get ball. We were able to, you know, have to really do too much. You just go out there and just play free and be yourself, and I feel like that's what allowed me to flourish in his scheme, just because I was able to, you know, play more free and, you know, do the things that I want to do on the field. So
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to note that you had this amazing year with an injury as well. And what in particular was that injury? It was a torn labrum. Correct?
yeah, tore right before the season.
Oh gosh.
Scrimmage, yeah.
So and that's something that's, one, very painful. Two, to have a career year that's unheard of. And it's interesting too that I guess I just want to hear the story of like what opted you not to sit out any games or anything of that nature. And because I'm assuming mentally, okay, you had 2 years at Troy, 21, 22, cut short due to injury. I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe you just don't want to go down this route again. You know, it just toughens you mentally, and you're willing to just play through this injury.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, like being through this injury and, you know, that injury, it taught me like, oh man, my shoulder, man, if I got through that, that'll be nothing. You know, it happened literally like before the first game of the season. And you know, it was kind of tough, you know, hearing it. But I was like, you know, if I can find a way to play, I'm gonna play. And then like the trainers and stuff, they were asking me, you know, did I want to go in and get the surgery, you know, try to tough it out. You know, I had a couple of doctors' opinions, and, you know, I just decided, you know, I'm gonna try to play. You know, especially since my last year, you know, I didn't want to miss any games, or, you know, I just want to be able to showcase everything I can showcase every single game. But it was kind of tough at first, but, you know, I just look back on what I've been through and, you know, obstacles overcome, and I was like, you know, I can do this, I can play. You know what I'm saying? As long as I have my legs and everything like that, and I feel like I can get through this and, you know, be able to help my team as long as I can. And originally they didn't think I would make it through the season, so they wanted me to try to play as many games as I can. But I actually ended up, by the grace of God, ended up like going to therapy every day and, you know, attacking that, and ended up making it through the full season. I missed any games or single snap, so I thank God for that, and I was able to get surgery after the season.
Gosh, that's amazing. Now you're getting ready for the NFL. And I guess the big thing coming up would probably be Pro Day, right? And that's where you can just showcase your talents and prove the world wrong and get on people's draft boards and things of that nature. What kind of defensive system, if you had to think of like a couple of teams or maybe a couple of coaches or systems, where do you think you would thrive at?
I have to look in. I like the way Todd Bowles runs his defense. It's pretty aggressive, and over there in Houston too.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah. I was just watching those guys on film. They're very aggressive, and that's the way I like to play, downhill aggressive, be able to, you know, fill gaps and, you know, play sideline to sideline. But, you know, whoever, you know, decide to take a chance on me, they're gonna get, you know, a smart, fast, physical, you know, tough player, and I'll be able to adjust to any scheme you put me in, and I'll be ready to do that. So
Todd Bowles, I mean, people just kind of overlook him, but yeah, very good defensive mind. That's a great answer. I guess just to kind of wrap it up, you were hyping yourself up this whole entire interview, but I just want to know in like one statement or whole paragraph, whatever, you know, take your time with this, but try to really sell yourself. Why do you believe that Jayden McDonald should be a starting linebacker in the NFL?
You know, with everything I've been through, I just feel like I can overcome anything. Like, I just feel like I'm tough, you know, I'm physical, you know, I'm a caring teammate. You know what I'm saying? I'm a great locker room guy. You know, I've done a lot of leadership things. I've been a 5-time captain this season for Coach Mora. I'm just willing to do anything I can, you know, to help the team win. And like I said, you know, I'm coming in to dominate. No matter whoever you put in front of me, you know, they're gonna get dominated. So, and I don't mean to say that in, you know, like a cocky way or anything like that. That's just my mindset. I just feel like anybody you put in front of me, you know, is gonna get dominated. So that's what you're gonna get out of me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not cockiness, it's confidence. And Jayden, I appreciate your time. Looks like you have a bright future ahead of you, and best of luck.
All right, thank you.